In this lesson, we'll take a look at working with shelves in Maya. So we talked about the shelves up here. You can see these tabs that contain a lot of different tools that we can access very, very quickly just by clicking on the particular icon on the shelf. We can come in here and we can choose a particular shelf that we want to activate, animation for instance, or we can come down here to this little arrow. We can turn off the tabs, and then we can just select a particular shelf that we want. So it saves a little bit of screen space doing it that way. Okay, or if you like the tabs, you can turn those back on and then just click through them like that. All right, we can also come in and navigate through our shelves by going to next, previous, or jump to a particular shelf. We can create a new shelf. So ask for a shelf name. We'll just call this something like intro. Say OK, and that creates a new blank shelf with nothing on it. All right, you can also delete the shelf if you want to, or load a particular shelf that you've saved out. We can also go into the shelf editor. Now right now nothing is showing, but if I select, let's say on the left hand side here, the curves, now you can see it shows us everything that's on that curved shelf. If I click on one of these, detach curves for instance, you can see that the icon is listed as well as a preview for that icon. The tooltip is kind of what you see when you hover over the icon, and then also the label. You can see none of these really have labels on them, so there's no text in here. Okay, and you can see that there are some other options in here as well. You can go through any of these. You can come in and you can move up in the list, you can move down, you can create a new item, or you can delete that particular item. All right, and so we can begin to edit our shelves that way by moving things around. We can also start to add our own tools that we want to add to this. So let's say that I really want to add some different tools here. For instance, I want to create a cube and I want to add that. So we'll go to whatever tool we want to activate. So Polygon Primitives Cube, and I'll hit Control Shift and then click on the cube, and that'll add that to our shelf. So now when I click on that, it automatically creates a cube. So I can come in here, move that around, create another one, and I can just create cubes all day long. If I want to come in and maybe add a tool to this, so maybe I want to add face extrude to my shelf because I'm going to use that a lot. I'll go into Edit Mesh, Control Shift, and then click on Extrude, and that'll add that to there. So then, we haven't covered this yet, but I can come in and activate that and it'll extrude that out. All right, now we can also start to add our scripts that we create to our shelf. So if we jump in here, this is the script that we did in the last lesson, and I've actually gone ahead and added that script to the notes of the curve. So if you go into the attribute editor, you'll find it right in here. Very simple. And so what we can do there is take our script and put it onto our shelf. So I'm just going to select the text that is part of that script. I'm just going to middle mouse, drag it up to our shelf. You can see the little Maya icon comes in up here. Let's see if it actually worked. So I'll select the curve, and then I'll just click on this new button here. And you can see as I hover over it, the tooltip is actually showing me the script that it's going to run. So you can see I can come in here and it's randomizing the X value, so I can just start to add those all day long. And so if we come into our shelf editor and we select this, you can see it's got this default icon. The tooltip is actually showing the script. If we want to change that and just say revolve and move, then for the label, we'll maybe name it something because it just has the generic command button icon. So we'll just say something short, revolve and move, and we'll save that. And now when I hover over this, it's going to say, oh, okay, that script means that it's going to revolve and move my curve. And it says rev m, this is all that I can see of it. If you wanted to create your own icon, you can bring that in as well. I believe they're 32 by 32 to create those, and you can come in here and just pick the icon that you want to use. This is a PNG for the Polycube. All right, and so in your shelf editor, you can delete things. You can also come in here, right click, and I can delete that as well from here. So you can start to populate different shelves, or if you have shelves that are strictly dedicated to, doing a particular project where you use maybe 5 tools that are spread across 3 different menu sets, you use those constantly, make a shelf for those and drop those onto the shelf, and access those very quickly as you go through your work on your project. All right, so that's a look at Maya shelves, and that kind of finishes out the kind of overall intro to Maya. I know we haven't really built anything, and it's maybe been a little bit, you want to get in and start creating something, and that's understandable. And so in the next lesson, we're going to get an overview of the modeling section, where we'll talk about some of the things that we're going to go over as we go through the modeling of our mech, and then we'll actually jump in and start creating that. So now that you've got kind of a good overview and kind of know your way around Maya a little bit, in the next lesson, let's talk about the modeling that's going to be coming up. So we'll do that next.